Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is Tim Harridge. I'm joined tonight by Susan Gropp from Arcana Insurance and Andrew Koslow, the EVP of 2020 REI and the head of REI Choice Insurance. So we're going to get ready and start the recording, and then we're going to get going from there. And for those of you listening live, the next couple segments are going to sound a little canned because we want to be able to create a good recording out of this that can be used over and over and over. So the first thing I like to ask is if someone that is attending this live could go ahead and raise their hand or comment or use the chat section just to let me know that you can indeed hear me, that would be very helpful. Yes, if any of you could just go to the chat section or the question section, just type yes or no or can't hear you or just something where I know. Yep. All right. I see the hand up. I see the chat. We are good to go. Thank you very much. And now it is time to get rolling. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. This is Tim Harridge, CEO of 2020 REI Group. Wanted to welcome you to this presentation about REI Choice Insurance. REI Choice Insurance is a collaboration between 2020 REI Group, Arcana Insurance Services, and the Lloyd's of London Group out of the UK. The way this works is, although this is a new venture for 2020 REI, it is something that Arcana has specialized in for a very long time. My experience with Arcana goes back to two of the largest real estate investment enterprises in America, and I have personally done hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions with Arcana, which is why we chose them for this venture, which is really about taking what used to be a product or a service for the elite real estate investors and those that had paid a lot of money to be a part of a network or a group or to qualify. And I went to the leadership of Arcana, said, how do we put this together? They gave me some advice. I went out and met a gentleman by the name of Andrew Koslow, who had decades of experience of insurance, and not just life insurance, not just auto insurance, but really a heavy specialty in builder's risk insurance and in some of these niche insurance markets like the real estate investing marketplace. And over the course of 6 months in 2017, we were able to craft and build and work with Arcana and Lloyd's of London to create the right product and strip away what did not need to be here and add in what was missing and even change things that were inadequate, etc. And what we believe we've done is create a world-class insurance product that fits the needs of the vast majority of investors, whether they are fixing and flipping, buying and keeping rental property, owner financing property. It really is a flexible program that meets my needs. I'm not just someone that came up with a product. I use this product. I was the first one to use the portal. I was the first one with this insurance. I was the first one to make a payment. And I was even the first one to file a claim. I was the first one to dispute a claim. I was the first one to get my claim paid. I was the first one to get my depreciation back. So I know this program works. I've known Arcana for a long time. And I know that this new division or product line from Arcana works and is working because not only am I the person that helped drive it, but I'm also a customer. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring Andrew Koslow on the line, and I'm going to step back and mute myself. Andy, why don't you take it away?
Sounds good. Well, welcome everyone to REI Choice Insurance. This little presentation with the help of Tim, hopefully will go very smoothly, and you guys will gain some information about this product. So Tim, whenever you're ready to flip the slide, we can start going there since you are the presenter. Overview, introduction. We're going to discuss about the REI Choice and Arcana partnership, and Tim just touched on that briefly. The products and services. Today we're going to discuss the Residential Property Investor Insurance Program and the Renters Tenant Liability Program. There are other programs and opportunities that will be out there later in this year, but we're going to focus on those two items right there to begin with, and then we'll briefly discuss a little bit of claims and billing and how the portal works, and then take your questions at the end. Okay, introduction to REI Choice and Arcana Insurance Services. As Tim said, we got together with them because of their expertise in this area, and Tim's expertise and experience with them in the real estate area, and my expertise in the insurance side. And so the insurance services is a well-known and respected leader in the real estate investor community. We thought it'd be a good partnership, and together we're able to synergize our common knowledge for you, the real estate investor, to bring a niche product and pricing, company with technology to market, and to create an easier, more productive experience for the real estate investor. So here's our products and services. The Residential Property Insurance Program. How does this differ from a traditional homeowner's policy? Because a lot of investors will go out there and attach a onesie, a twosie to a homeowner's policy, and they'll go, oh man, it's so expensive. It's because we have created a niche product solely for the residential real estate investor. So it strips off some of those things that you just don't need, and adds you some things that you do need. For example, no penalty for a property being vacant, no exclusion for intentional acts of the tenants, no upcharge in premium for a roof due to age. You don't pay premium for coverage you may not require, such as contents or things of that nature. And claims filed on this policy will not have a negative impact on your homeowner's claim history. So those three things, or those things, take some of the issues of a homeowner's policy trying to actually be an investor program policy out of the mix. Some of the big advantages you'll see is you get to keep a lot of your cash up front, because under our program, we don't require 25% minimum earned premiums. You actually can pay monthly premiums with our program. Our job is also to make yours easier. So we go and we issue a quote, we package the property and the liability for vacant or rental dwellings. It's simple underwriting. You don't have to tell about how old the roof is. You don't have to go get an inspection like you do in some other aspects of some of the programs. One of the great things that we're trying to do is implement technology, so we're open when you are. So if you need to log in to our technology and our portal online, you can do that at 11 o'clock at night, which I know Tim has done, or you can do that at 7 in the morning or on your lunch break if you work another job and this is not your primary occupation. The property coverage is limited to $1 million per property, and it is replacement cost. It is not actual cash value. It's a big, big difference when you start looking at pricing, ACV versus RCV, and the coverages that are in place. And each property will come with $1 million per occurrence per location of general liability coverage. Those are some of the main large highlights of our program. Some of the detail highlights that we went in to go as far as to help investors maximize their cash flow and create convenience is that you can go into the portal program, register, quote, bind, and print it right there from your desktop. You don't have to wait for an agent to come and get back with you 3 days later to go and close something that you need to get closed today. You can actually go and do that, and that's why we call it anytime and anywhere. The package coverage for vacant and rental dwellings, fire, windstorm, and liability. It all comes together, and you only pay for the days the policy is in force. So with monthly payment options, or if you know you're going to have a tenant in for 6 months, you can go ahead and pay for those 6 months. There's no policy or billing fees, although there are 3% charge if you're using a credit card, which you can use, or a small ACH per transaction. The pricing is extremely competitive. Our rates are based on counties, and so it's from state to state, county to county. And since we strip out a lot of those things that the homeowner's policy provides, this is a niche product, you get much better, more competitive pricing. Again, no photos, electronic billing, because you're going to get a portal you're going to get to log into. You can pay online. We do it with rental properties that are occupied or people that are doing fix and flip. It really doesn't matter to us as long as it's an investor type program. I think you'll see you can work both rentals and portfolio and vacant or occupied properties. Some of the coverage highlights, ACV brings certain other opportunities, but our base program is a RCV. It's that can be unusual. It's also replacement cost everywhere. Other programs sometimes will go and ACV to certain counties. They'll let you have RCV in others. Ours does not do that. We have a special form including theft. That can be important, especially if, as an investor, you have it attached to your homeowners and that property becomes vacant. After 30 days or 60 days, they will start excluding theft, if not cancel that coverage altogether on you. We cover the windstorm with a % deductible depending on where the property is located. It covers your vandalism, malicious mischief. Some people understand when they have a vacant property and a few years back they go and steal the copper wire out of the house. We do a program if anybody gets interested in that. We do have competitive pricing as mentioned, and we have multiple options depending on how big the portfolio is. Again, no photos, electronic billing and payment plans, rentals and flips, vacant or occupied properties. Saying a couple things 2 or 3 times here because they are very important, and that it's unusual in the industry to see a program that's so dedicated to just being for the individual or the institutional investor. That gets me to, there's 2 paths to the success of being an investor here. The new investor or the investor that has a smaller portfolio that doesn't want to go and get big. You're able to go and create a login. You're going to have a worry-free experience knowing that the program that is set up is specifically set up for the smaller mid-sized investor. And you get the ease of doing business through our portal technology as all of our customers can. The institutional investor can, if they have a large enough portfolio, we can go and customize coverage for them. We can negotiate certain rates and programs and deductibles, co-insurance, and those type of things as well. And if it's a large enough, we will even create a customized portal for that specific entity. There we go. The other program that we've been seeing a lot of interest in, especially on the institutional side, is the Renters Insurance Program. So basically this will help with the landlord, and what we're seeing, especially on the West Coast, a landlord will give the renter, the tenant, the opportunity to take a small amount of renter's contents out, also have some liability. And they also can blend that in as a fee or an extra piece of the program for their rental portfolio that should a tenant not have those coverages, they can actually come and get that for them. There's some people that actually place that, because what it can do is it can limit the liability even further on the investor so that there's actually 2 layers of liability there. And if there is an incident on property, he has 2 layers that will protect him from the liability standpoint. Okay, here's one of the best parts about Arcana. Aside from the competitive pricing and the ease of use of technology and being able to do it anytime, anywhere, claims. We have some of the best claims people in the industry. They can be reported 24/7 by fax, phone, internet, or email. It is on the system in place is redundant, and I have found that it's one of the best claims departments nationwide that I've dealt with in a very, very, very long time. They're on the spot. They know what they're doing. They know it's based on rental insurance. They have the master policy in hand when they're there doing their assessment at claims time. So there are multiple checks and balances that are put into place by the Arcana Insurance Claim Services that help them be second to none with regards to the claims process. You can kind of come. It can be very difficult come time if you have multiple claims, and I've seen them work very, very, very well through difficult issues. Any questions out there with regards to the coverages, the program, why we decided to go and make a special niche program, or any of the things that you just might have to ask off the cuff? Okay. Tim, looks like you might be doing a demo for us.
All right, Andy, sorry about that. I'm back, guys. All right, so we'll get to more questions later. We did have one question about, could we do a master policy? Absolutely. All of this is a master policy. In the way it works, and I'll show you my account. It's actually would the renter's insurance be under a separate policy? That's a good question. Andy, is the renter's insurance under a separate policy?
Absolutely. So let me back up, and I said there's two ways to success. One, we have a master policy that I don't want to call it canned, but we went and did a lot of research that would provide loss of rent, an excellent deductible on our master policy program for the smaller investor. The institutional investors, absolutely, we can go and create their own portal. We can move things around. We can move deductibles and co-insurance, et cetera. The renter's policy, it is a total separate one. It's interesting because some of the guys out in California that we've done recently, they will go and put those two together, but if the tenant shows proof of rental insurance, they don't place the renter's policy on that property. If they don't show it, then they'll force place it in order to kind of protect them even a little bit further for a very small premium. Hope that answers the question.
It does. And the attendee that was asking the question wanted us to just reach out tomorrow to discuss, because the individual is a property manager managing 10 units for one person and has other customers as well. So she wants to advise, her customers on the products. What I'm going to do is open up the portal now. And you notice I've typed in reichoice.com. You just hit enter. REIchoice.com will redirect you to the insurance hub that's powered by Arcana. If you don't have an account, you want to click register, enter your information, and it will send you a password with a username and password and a login link. Always check your spam account, your spam folder. It's about a 50-50. And there's also, if you have any special characters in your email address, that's not going to work. So you're going to want to use an email that's just that doesn't have any special characters. And for me, I already have an account. Like I said, I'm the guinea pig in this product. This is my homepage. This is my portal. This is the back end. If I want to look at my policies, I can come over here to my policies. In this company, we only have 4. This is like kind of my low volume demo thing. You see here one of the demos we did today, 123 Main Street. But we're just going to show you how quick it really is to get insurance on a new acquisition or a new property. I come over here to the left where it says insurance programs. I click on, I'm going to go ahead and spotlight. That should keep you looking at me. Over here where it says investor program, insurance programs. I click on investor program over here, and it says apply now. So apply now, get a quote. It's all the same within the system. The point is getting you into where you're entering information. So name of person completing application, insured name. So we're going to call this House Buyer LLC. That's the new company Tim has. There's the mailing address, the email address, property type. This is for 1 to 4 family and condo. If you have anything outside of 1 to 4 family or condo, you're just going to need to reach out to us direct through one of our customer service channels. Property address, 1321 Cypress. That's one of our rental properties that we have through this portal in another account. I like to keep things separate. So in my flipping business or my wholesaling business, we have one account, and in our rental and holding company and owner finance company, we have another. Let's just say this house is worth $200,000 in Mesquite, Texas, and I want the insurance to go into place tomorrow because I know I'm closing on it tomorrow. The mortgagee, you get this directly from your lender. Let's just say it's my lender. And the address is 123 Main Street here in Rockwall, where I live. State is invalid. Oh. Fat figured that one. Loan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, you get all this directly from your lender. Additional insured. We'll run another class about that, but that's if I just need to name an additional insured, someone else that or another entity that's going to be covered on this policy. And one of the things is you may have a second lien, so you would put that in mortgagee too. You may have a gap lender. You may just have a joint venture partner that you want to name as an additional insured. There's all sorts of different ways. We'll just run a different class on that. Most of the time that's going to be blank. I hit next, the system starts doing its job, and the system's querying the rates, the location, and everything, and it comes out with a quote. This is a quote. This is not a binder. And what that policy you see down there, the total amount, that is the annual policy. It's not the monthly amount. It's not the quarterly amount. That's the annual policy. And don't freak out about this because you don't have to pay the entire annual policy. What it is, annual premium, what it's telling you is how much it costs for a year, because that's the way everything's done. Gives you some of the deductibles, some of the coverage limits. This is the standard master policy that I'm telling you. I know thousands of investors that this is the exact coverage they use, but they typically have a $5,000 deductible, and we've lowered it to $2,500 because that's what I wanted. So that's what you get. Bind policy. So I'm ready to go. I hit bind policy. You see up in the upper right-hand corner, it tells me there's a certificate of insurance to be available in a while. I just wait a minute. It tells me up here it's going to be created. I can hit OK and get ready to go make a payment. So there you go. It clicks me over to here, and you see House Buyer LLC. House Buyer LLC, right? That's the policy we just created. I can come over here, hit preview, and look at the exact binder that I'm going to need to send to my my lender, probably to the title company. It's right here. I can download it. Now, you can download it, you can send it off, but you don't have coverage till you pay. So what we want to do is hit pay now. Here's this property under House Buyer LLC. If I wanted to select them all, I can select them all, but I don't. I'm just going to stick with this sample property. I hit pay. Now, here you see months to pay. Again, I told you it was a 12-month, it was an annual premium, so you have 12 months here. Some people, if they know they're going to wholesale or wholetail the house, sell it really quickly, they just do 1 month. Some people, they want to conserve cash flow, they just do 1 month at a time. You get a monthly reminder. We've got several clients that they know they're going to flip it. They typically only have the house for 4 months, so they just go ahead and hit 4 months because at that time, they just don't want to have to bother with going in and making a $100 payment. It's up to you. Pay at least 1 month, you have coverage. So let's just say 1 month. We hit proceed to checkout. All the payments are done right here on the website. I'm not going to do a payment because there's no need of me putting my credit card information in. Andy had told you a little bit about these fees. If you want to do an ACH, it's $3. If you want to do a credit card fee, it's $3.47. It's a 3.25%. The only confusing thing about this that I do want to point out is you see account ID. What we want to do there, account ID, is just enter 5 ones. That is part of the legacy system that had a 5-digit account number. We're trying to get it to go away. We don't want to break the whole system just to make it less confusing. Just know you should enter 5 ones, and then you're good to go. Go down there, make your payment. You'll get emailed a receipt. But most importantly, now you go back over here to My Policy, Investor Program, House Buyer LLC. Now this binder that you can download and send to the title company and your lender. You see your lender's information's right here, my lender with the loan number. You can download it. You can send it off. Everybody knows that you're covered. You have a binder. You're good to go. Or if you want to send this binder off to closing and have them pay the entire premium off the settlement statement, like some lenders do require, you can do that as well, which is why we make it where you can actually download the binder. And if you have a title company cut the check on the day that coverage happened, you're good to go. You have coverage. So those are the two options of ways to use the portal. Portal is really simple. You've got your transaction history. You've got your billing history. You can run you can upload some quotes. You can look at the different flood insurance, renters, contents insurance. You can change your profile, change your password. I don't get all fancy. I like to come in here to my policy about once a month. I hit pay, select all, and the nice thing is you're able to go in here and just go ahead and pay your monthly payment on all 4 properties in this instance, and you hit proceed to checkout. So it's that easy. It's pretty simple. We like it. We hope you do too. Got a little bit of time for some questions, or you can simply just email us and follow up. So if you'd like to ask questions in the questions panel or the chat panel, go ahead and start typing. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording though.